Good evening and welcome to the City Council meeting for Monday, October 20th, 2025. We will begin with a roll call and determination of quorum.
Lehman. Here. Maher. Here. Roberts. Here. Stroman. Pettigrew.
Here.
Seacrest. Here. Bieberdorf.
Here.
Tamang.
Here.
Evans.
Here.
Meyer. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Next, we'll have an invocation by Pastor Josie Sorensen, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. If you're able and willing, would you please rise?
All right. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council. Would you all join me in prayer? Heavenly Father, we thank you for the privilege of gathering here tonight to serve our community. We ask you for your wisdom and your guidance over every discussion and decision made in this room. I ask that you would grant each council member clarity of mind, unity of purpose, and compassion for those they represent. May justice, peace, and integrity lead the way in all that is said and done. Bless our city, O Lord, its families, businesses, and neighborhoods with safety, prosperity, and hope. Let tonight's work honor you and bring good to all who call this place home. In the precious and powerful name of Jesus, amen.
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Lehman, second by Seacrest to adopt. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have a couple of items under mayor's items, and that is to item 1, confirm the appointment of Michael Tice as director of the Rapid City Public Works Department and authorize mayor and finance director to sign the employment contract. And I'll say a few words before we get a motion on this. Michael comes to the city with a wealth of experience from the private sector, working in utility, as well as a consultant in the construction industry, has executive level experience, I think the right temperament, and will bring a fresh voice and leadership to the Public Works team. We've had excellent team members within Public Works. Throughout this last year especially, they've really stepped up. I also want to say a big thank you to both Vicki Fisher and Daniel Ainsley for their interim leadership. Tonight, what we're doing is we're voting to confirm my appointment. Michael Tice will actually officially begin on November 3rd, but tonight he'll take his oath of office as a sworn public servant. And we're very grateful to have his level of expertise and leadership in the city. And with that, I will entertain a motion. Motion by Meyer, second by Maher to approve the confirmation of Michael Tice as the next director of Public Works. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 2 is the swearing in of Michael Tice as director of the Rapid City Public Works Department, effective November 3rd, 2025. With that, our finance director will administer the oath. Thank you.
If you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Michael Tice, solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of South Dakota against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, true faith and allegiance
to the same,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or for the purpose of evasion, that I will faithfully and impartially perform the duties of the office of Public Works Director, the duties of the office within the Office of Public Works, Rapid City, South Dakota, according to the law and to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations.
Next, we'll move on to general public comment, a time for members of the public to discuss or express concerns to the council on any issue not on the agenda. Action will not be taken at the meeting on any issue not on the agenda except by placement on the agenda by unanimous vote of the council members present. I do have a few speaker request forms. As a reminder, I have 3 minutes each. The first one's James Bialotta.
Good evening, Council. I am back again to say how bad RCPD is doing. For the second time this year alone, to me, they have violated the Privacy Protection Act, which is seizing journalists' work product unlawfully without a warrant. And I've warned this council repeatedly they were doing this. Your inaction is pattern and practice to allow them to violate federal laws and regulations under your authority. You have the ability to retrain them, and yet you refuse. I suggest you do it now. Before meeting started, I tried to hand Jason Solomon an intention to sue based on these new allegations. He tried to refuse. That is not his duty as the mayor. One of the few people that can be served is the council members and the mayor. It is not his authority to try to refuse service. You're a disgrace, sir. A disgrace. You should be better. On my comment form was a request to speak during the agenda, the adoption of the agenda. Because as we all know, as Jason just said, you cannot be added to the agenda unless a unanimous decision of the board, which is why I wanted to speak under adoption of the agenda, to add this issue to the board, to bring into compliance your city officers. And you just want to skip it. I'm running for public office. And a lot of people ask me what my job is. Well, I could tell them I used to do construction. I could tell them I have a gun shop. But you know what I really do? I investigate corruption here in South Dakota. And Dakotans' business is a booming. This board is so corrupt, allowing your cops and staff to run amok is ridiculous. I'm in touch with national journalists that we're running stories on you. Jason, I have a question. Do you still work for Black Hills Federal Credit Union, or did you only slide them contracts when you were a council member? Making sure the monument, which is overseen by Rapid City, switched their banks over to Black Hills Federal Credit Union. That's a slick one. Good for you. How many stock options did you get out of that deal? I'm going to keep investigating. And you're not going to stop, and your police aren't going to seize my journalistic work product, because I'm going to take the city for all it's worth. So stop. Stop it now.
Next up, we have Jake Johnson.
Hello, Council. Jake Johnson with BHCC LLC again. Good to see you. We are one of a handful of medical cannabis companies in South Dakota who's vertically integrated from farm to table with multiple retail locations. One of three that's in town here. Despite initially being relatively undercapitalized, our company has become one of the top wholesalers in the state while maintaining an impeccable compliance record. By the way, if anyone would like a reference from the Department of Health Inspector, we can definitely get that to you. But we attribute our success to three things. And basically, our majority stakeholders are hands-on. We work daily in every aspect of our business. We've gained experience and expertise in basically from working in other legal markets, although the majority of us are from Rapid City or grew up here. We also have deep compassion for end-of-life and chronically ill cardholders. We make very quality products. It has come to our attention that Mayor Solomon intends to amend the medical cannabis ordinance. And basically, we're here today to ask you for your support for an ordinance amendment which would automatically grant a retail license to Rapid City cultivators who are currently unrepresented in the retail market. Please encourage Mayor Solomon to include this language in his proposed ordinance amendment. Although we have tremendous wholesale network statewide, our ability to serve local cardholders in our hometown has become difficult due to market consolidation. Many of the local retailers only carry their own products. Even though the city ordinance and state law allowed for 15 retail licenses in Rapid City, only 9 have ever become operational, despite the fact there was a 1-year operational requirement in both state law and city ordinance, and a waiting list procedure to fill the unused licenses. Unfortunately, the city has elected to subjectively apply those rules, much to the dismay of chronically ill and end-of-life cardholders, Rapid City taxpayers, and licensure applicants who expect a fair and balanced process. The proposed amendment would help citizens of Rapid City for the following reasons. Basically, it'll increase quality of life for Rapid City's most medically compromised. Unfortunately, we all know people who've been forced to rethink their pain management regimen due to serious or life-threatening injuries. Our company is one of the only in the region who produces sun-grown, organic, soil-grown cannabis. This product is highly demanded by the program's most medically compromised cardholders, specifically those with cancer. We have some really amazing products that no one else in the state can produce, and I'd be willing to share those with you at a different time.
All right, Mr. Johnson, 3 minutes are up. Thank you.
I'll hit up you guys with an email. Thanks a lot, guys.
Next up, Renee Hagland.
Hello, good evening. Hello, Rapid City. I am here today on behalf of a group of about 20 citizens in Rapid City who prepare, serve, and facilitate the Friday meal at the band shell every Friday for our unsheltered relatives. And I just want to tell you that I'm seeing an increase of children at this. And I think that with the very likely possibility that SNAP is going to end on October 31st, we are going to see more and more people. I'm averaging approximately 75 emails and Facebook messages a day asking people, do you have a plan? Does the Pennington County Dems have a plan? Does the community have a plan? I got one yesterday from a mom who works 2 part-time jobs. She has 3 children. And her question to me was, you're not going to let my kids starve, right? There are food insecurities that are so intense within our own community. And I'm not cool with that. And I don't think anybody in this room is cool with that. None of you are cool with that. So I just want to cover a couple of stats that I'm sure most of you have read, but maybe perhaps not all of you. In 2024, 75,100 citizens in South Dakota received Supplemental Nutritional Assistant Program benefits, which was called SNAP, and that includes the EBT cards. In 2022, approximately 34,000 children were benefits out of those 75,100 people. 34,779 of them were under 18. Between the ages of 14 and 17, there were 6,900. With children, more than 70% of SNAP participants in South Dakota are families with children. In 2022, over 9,000 of those citizens that received SNAP were over the age of 65. In older adults, 35% of those were adults that were seniors and had a disability. My mom received SNAP. So we have a call for you. We have an open invitation. We've selected a date. Friday, November 14th, we would like to invite all of the Rapid City Council to prepare and serve the meal at the band shell at Memorial Park. At 3:30 p.m. is when we gather. Many of you know how to get a hold of me, and I hope that you consider this invitation and accept it.
All right, thank you. Next up, we have Dale Nicola.
I thought there were 2 of me. Okay, I'd like to address the citizens of Rapid City. We all know that the mayor runs this could-be great city. I'm here to hold the city responsible. We citizens have property, rules, and taxes. How is it right for the city to hand out fines and tickets if the city isn't going to set a good example? Example, city hands out notices to homeowners to clean up their property they own. Sounds reasonable, but the city doesn't have to do the same. I own property in this city. I received a notice to mow the alleyway within 7 days, or I would be fined. I did so, and now I'm turning the tables around. I reported the city for not doing the same at the park across the street. It has been 6 weeks ago. It still is not done correctly. I'm asking citizens to stand up for their rights. Put a mayor in office who will take care of the small problems like these. I will be back to point out many more Small things. How many small things does it take to equal a big problem? This mayor seems to think he is better than the citizens of this city and doesn't need to follow the rules. Equal. What is the definition? Do you do it? I don't have to. Rapid City Mayor. Real definition of equal. A person or thing considered to be the same as another in status and quality. To be, no, read that wrong, excuse me. Be the same as in numbers and amount. That means if I'm given 7 days to mow my stuff and I get a fine, the city has the same
Mr. Nicola,
responsibility.
3 minutes are up. Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
thank you.
Next up, Mark Millar.
I'm here to stand with this guy. A couple of years, it took me 20 trips between the trips and the calls to City Hall to get you all to shovel your icy sidewalks at the corner of North Maple and Anamosa, right across the street from the fire hall. Brand new property you brought that year to rebuild that intersection. So there are a lot of flaws in your system. But I didn't come here to chew your ass today. I actually came hoping that you'll all come to the planning committee meeting, coffee with the planners, so I can get an opportunity to twist your ears. I'm going to be headed forward with trying to head off this realigning the railroad through town thing. I can't imagine where we got all these monies for all these projects. And I don't know what is wrong in the planning committee or what is wrong with the start of our process, but we're seeing one of their major decisions go to an election. We just saw another major decision that had to be decided by the courts. So I think we need to pay a little closer attention to where we start. And I'm concerned, I gained a whole new concern now from the gentleman. Apparently we're gonna change the medical cannabis ordinance. Is that an intention of you, Mayor? I actually have a medical cannabis license, and I'm concerned about how quickly things go through the council with very little said in the community, in the media. And so now I'm totally concerned that we're gonna end up with a whole new ordinance in a 2-week period. Because see, I'm not gonna be able to be here the first meeting in November. I'm gonna be in Denver having my 11th surgery in 4 years. And so I do miss some of your meetings. I missed some of your meetings last winter when we got some crazy ass ideas going on. And I don't want you to think that I'm not concerned or that I'm not paying attention. But because of my health is exactly why I didn't run against Lance this year in the council. But I will be running against John. So anyways, I really think we need to come up with a way to make things more transparent in this city before we get down these $250 million ideas and the citizens get one chance to come in and speak, and you guys have made these decisions. I'd also like to know, where is the tie between the council and monuments committee? Because there is a lot of city money tied in there.
Mr.
We
Miller.
don't seem to have any control over.
Time's up. Thank you. That will conclude the general public comment portion of the meeting, and we will now move on to non-public hearing items 3 through 33. In open public comment for items 3 through 29, I do have a few speaker request forms. And the first one, once again, James Bialotta. I had you on 21, 22, 25.
Can you double check to see if Chet has a public speaking request?
Oh, he does. He had multiple. Excuse me. Chet.
Would you please
My
reopen
apologies.
public comment then, by motion?
What's that?
He had a public comment.
Yes, sir.
I'm asking by motion, can you reopen public
Yes,
comment?
as he comes up, we'll address this. Mr. Ellsworth, you want to come on up? Council, are you okay with continuing general public comment for the additional speaker request forms? I'll say aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Chet?
Councilors, Chet Ellsworth, Rapid City, and I'm a TIF petitioner. I came last week, and I just wanted to clear some things up that occurred last week. I came in and was discussing the publishing deadlines on the TIF issue and the minutes that were being missed at that time. I came in under a consent item, and after I got done pursuing that, the council came up and at the end of it, I believe out of order, didn't give me a chance to rebut what was said, and that was the Mr. Evans asked if the minutes were published and posted correctly, and this is back to the publishing of the minutes that would be concerning the minutes of the TIF election itself. And Landine, I'm just reading off the minutes here. Landine confirmed they were. Motion was made by Roberts, second by Bayador to approve 10-0. With me sitting there, having no chance to rebut it or enter into the conversation. And it started off with Mr. Evans saying, yeah, I want to remove number 1. And that was my thing. And then there was a discussion of the actual publishing so people can inspect them. And Mr. Landine deferred to Heidi on that. In other words, there was no answer. There was insufficient action involved, and it did not impose any burden on me for what they were trying to say. So at the end, the conversation read, so, okay, thank you. I just want to make sure that everybody knows we're not purposely trying to distract or delay the publications in any way. That gets to my question about whether there was any authority for you to enter into that conversation. None was cited in here for the fact that those things were or weren't published on time. No authority whatsoever. I've had some discussions with your finance department over there, and I ended up today asking for a public request of a document that did state that you're planning this election on 9/20/11. 9/20/11 is the statute, and in there it says pending the action, pending the election, the governing body may take no action with respect to the subject matter of the petition that would alter or preempt the effect of the proposed
Mr.
petition.
Ellsworth, the 3 minutes is up on this portion. If you want to stay up there, we will now move on to non-public hearing items 3 through 33.
Okay.
An open public comment for items 3 through 29. I do have you listed here for items 3 and 25. As a reminder, you get a total of 3 minutes for both items. So we'll go ahead and let you continue on, sir.
Nothing for the point of order on the last meeting where they didn't let me respond. Anyway, that occurring when I was there at that meeting, and they didn't let me enter into the fray there, and they didn't cite any authority to do what they were doing. That brings us to the authority that they're planning under, and I got that today. 9/20/11, the codified law states that this, with respect to the subject matter of the petition, that would alter or preempt the effect of the proposed petition. And I'm saying that the actual conversation that was held there ignored completely 9/18/1, the publishing of minutes, including statement of expenditures, which clearly was supposed to be 12 days, ended up 21 days. Okay, clearly, it's on the record. Your folks down at the finance office will tell you that it didn't occur till then. The delivery of copy to the official newspaper, supposed to be within 5 days. We have no indication that that ever occurred. There was a paper sent to be showing a date of, well, it didn't show a date on it, and I'm saying that should have been in on 9/22. So these violations are impediments and preempt the effect of the proposed petition. Now you're talking about not having any kind of authority to run this election. And what you're trying to do is hide the fact that you should have been putting up an ordinance instead of a resolution on 9/22. You're trying to hide the fact and keep from the public the second hearing that should have occurred in there. And so I do want to pursue this, and I have been trying to talk to your finance director about this, and this imperils the election. There's an option. The option states right in the books that you could have that election on November 11th. And you preempted this yourself so that you wouldn't have to do that. I think it's a pretty serious matter. I'd like to pursue it further with whoever will talk to me.
All right, sir. Did you have more items on 25? You have about 20 seconds left.
25, which one's that?
Opioid settlement.
That's the opioid thing. Yeah, I sent a thing to, I think to you, asking to go to that meeting. And I was told that that's a closed meeting, that it's a closed group, and that means it's private. And as far as I'm concerned, you're running another government there. There's another level of government.
All right,
Thank you,
sir. James Bialotta, you also have 3 minutes for items 21, 22, and 25 altogether.
All right, well, before we get on the record, I do want to make a point of clarification, because if anybody at home did not know, or the meeting minutes did not show, me as a member of the public had to correct you for not calling people during public comment, which is required by law. I don't know if I flustered you today. Is that the problem?
We had 3 speaker request forms for him, and I thought it said number 2 instead of a check mark.
Okay,
Very
so you're
easy.
just incompetent. Got it. Okay, so for item 21, I don't think we should be giving any additional funds to the police department, because to be honest, they got to go through a lot of retraining, and I'm sure that's going to cost money. You're under a DOJ warning right now to make sure they don't violate civil rights. You know this. And the DOJ can reopen that case at any time. You're on a suspension or a suspended sentence of their action. Get in line before they drop the hammer. And don't give the city police any money until they follow the law. 22, the memorandum of understanding between Rapid City and South Dakota State University, there's a couple legal problems in it. I'm not an attorney, so I can't give you legal advice. I'm only a paralegal. However, if I was an attorney, I might suggest your attorney to look at item E, because you're waiving certain rights that are allowed by law in South Dakota. As a party to a lawsuit, you're able to file from either jurisdiction. Typically, the party that is injured, or the complainant, or the non-complainant. Here, it waives your right to be heard in Pennington County or the 7th Circuit Court. Other than that, the other problems I have with this, and let's just talk about it for the public so they know what it is. It's a digital cyber lab agreement. Now, it's supposed to be for cybersecurity, but I do not see a limitation for cyber intelligence. And I hate to think that your police department that can't follow the law now, you give them an extra tool to violate people's rights. And I think that should be outlined, that it will not be used for illegal searches or searches, especially without a warrant. Item 25, the opioid task force. I would hope that you do not take any money from Marty Jackley, who said, and I quote, he is going to cancel cancel all oversight. If this board takes money without oversight, may God have mercy on your souls. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. And for you to operate without oversight is ridiculous. Thank you.
All right, next up, Jacob All for item 18.
Hello, this is my first time being here. I'm a little confused what's going on. I got a bill for the grass cutting thing. Just to lay it out, I was told I had a certain amount of time to cut the grass. I cut the grass within the allotted time. Then all of a sudden, about a month and a half later, when the grass had grown again, and I was literally going to cut it that day, I left my house and I come back and my grass is cut. Like a month and a half after I had already filled the need. So I have a bill here for $250, and I'm just more confused and a little distraught about it because they cut all my wildflowers down and my entire flower grove up against my lawn. And honestly, I was emotionally distraught for a few days after it. So I don't know if I can talk to someone about this. I happen to be a member of the Rosebud Sioux tribe, and those flowers were beautiful to me, and the bees loved them, and I loved them, and they were all cut down, and now I have to pay a $250 fine. And I don't know who I can talk to about this.
Mr. Hall, I'll tell you what, I have a staff member meet you out in the hallway right after you're done speaking.
Okay.
To walk through your issue.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I would appreciate that. Because I don't want any trouble or anything. And I also have pictures on my phone that I took right before I came here, if someone wants to look at them. Pretty much all my neighbors' yards are overgrown all around me. Not only that, right across the street from my house on the sidewalk, there's weeds that are at least 10 inches tall growing right out of the sidewalk, 10 foot from my driveway on the other side of the road. There is a chain link fence that is torn down about 3 houses down where the homeless walk across it all night. I'm not in a good part of town. Like, I own that home and that property, and it's not in a good part of town, and I just feel like I was singled out here. Like, I'm a hardworking guy, and I don't know, I just feel like I was singled out here. And I was told to come here in this to talk to you about it, and that's why I'm here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. That will conclude the public comment period, and we will move on to consent items 3 through 29. Would the council like to remove any items for separate consideration or vote on the remaining consent items? Councilor Lehman.
I'd like to remove item 18, Mayor.
All right, number 18. Okay, we got a motion to approve the remaining items with the exception of 18. Do we have a second? Second by Roberts. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 18, approve resolution number 2025-113, a resolution levying assessment for abatement of nuisances. And with that, we'll go to the Finance Department.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We would ask that you would approve it, removing the tax ID 20369, which is 410 East Chicago Street.
Okay, we got a motion by Lehman with a second by Tamang to approve the items with the exception pointed out by Director Ainsley. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. That takes us to the end of consent items. Excuse me. We will move on to non-consent items 30 through 33 and open public comment for items 30 through 33. I have no speaker request forms for those items, so we will close the public comment and move on to item 30, first reading of ordinance number 6697, an ordinance promoting pedestrian safety and the orderly flow of traffic by prohibiting pedestrians from occupying certain medians by adding section 12.12.140 to the Rapid City Municipal Code. Got a motion by Sechrist with a second by Maher to approve. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 31, first reading of ordinance number 6695, an ordinance regarding supplemental appropriation number 4 for 2025. Motion by Maher, second by Sechrist. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 32, second reading of ordinance number 6689, an ordinance regarding supplemental appropriation number 3 for 2025.
Is there a value on that?
Motion by Sechrist with a second by Maher. Maher, was that right? Bieberdorf, excuse me. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 33, second reading of ordinance number 6692, an ordinance transferring the city's transit and GIS divisions from the Department of Public Works to the Department of Community Development by amending chapters 2.44 and 2.47 of the Rapid City Municipal Code. Motion by Evans, second by Sechrist. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, that takes us to the public hearing items 34 through 42, and we will open the public hearing for items 34 through 42. We do not have any speaker request forms, so we will close the public hearing and move on to consent public hearing items 34 through 36. Got a motion by Lehman with a second by Tamang to approve items 34 through 36. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. That takes us to the end of consent public hearing calendar, and we will move on to non-consent public hearing items 37 through 42. Item 37, resolution number 2024-081, a resolution for the vacation of right-of-way for property more generally described as alley between Maple Avenue and Elm Avenue, north of East Main Street North. Motion by Lehman with a second by Roberts. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 38, a resolution 2025-068, a resolution for the vacation of right-of-way for property more generally described as being located at the east end of West South Street. Motion by Roberts, second by Tamang. All in favor? Any opposed? Or was that Lehman? Excuse me. You sound the same. Motion by Roberts was second by Lemang. All in favor? Or second by Lemang. I just made up a new name. Motion by Roberts, second by Lehman. I can't talk tonight. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Item 40, second reading of ordinance number 6680, an ordinance amending section 17.06 of the Rapid City Municipal Code. A request by City of Rapid City for Daryl and Jean Ennin for a rezoning request from no use district to general agricultural district for property generally described as being located between Ennin Drive and Radar Hill Road. Motion by Sechrist with a second by Roberts. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 41, second reading of ordinance number 6681, an ordinance amending section 17.06 of the Rapid City Municipal Code. A request by City of Rapid City for Sturgis Properties LLC for rezoning request from no use district to general agricultural district for property generally described as being located between Ennin Drive and Radar Hill Road. Motion by Roberts, second by Sechrist. All in favor? Stand by. Heidi would like to chime in. I'm trying, Heidi. Let's see.
We did skip 39. If we could read that one in, please.
We did. Okay. Well, we'll finish this motion. So the motion on the floor is to approve item 40. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 39, second reading of ordinance number 6643, an ordinance amending section 17.06 of the Rapid City Municipal Code. A request by Forest Products Distributors, Inc. for rezoning requests from no use district to heavy industrial district for property generally described as being located at 5420 Old Folsom Road. Motion by Roberts, second by Sechrist. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Now item 41. Second reading of ordinance number 6681, an ordinance amending section 17.06 of the Rapid City Municipal Code, a request by City of Rapid City for Sturgis Properties LLC for rezoning request from no use district to general agricultural district for property generally described as being located between Ennin Drive and Radar Hill Road. All right, motion by Roberts, second by Sechrist. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 42. Second reading of ordinance number 6682, an ordinance amending section 17.06 of the Rapid City Municipal Code. A request by City of Rapid City for Valley Development LLC for rezoning request from no use district to general agricultural district for property generally described as being located between Ennin Drive and Radar Hill Road. Motion by Roberts, we'll give it second by Evans. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Now we will move on to the bill list. And for item 43, let's go to Finance Director Daniel Ainsley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The bills tonight for Visit Rapid City total $314,290.97.
Motion by Lehman, second by Sechrist. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes with one abstention from Meyer. Item 44, with that, we'll go back to the Finance Director.
The remaining bills tonight total $11,862,808.97.
Motion by Roberts, second by Sechrist. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Lehman, second by Tamang. All in favor? Any opposed? We're adjourned. Thanks, everyone.